The way you hold your knife. The 2020 virtual commencement will now begin.
Staunch and grey thou stand'st before us on the campus fair, thy high spirit guarding o'er us who thy blessing share. Thee we praise with songs of gladness, name thy glories all. Hail to thee, our alma mater, hail, all hail Swarthmore. Every stone of alma mater holds a memory dear. Every ripple of crumbs water is a greeting clear. Thee we praise with songs of gladness, name thy glories o'er. Hail to thee, our alma mater, hail, all hail Swarthmore. Though we leave thee and those sorrows, still our laughter gay. We will tender memories borrow from the past so gray. Then you'll hear the old grass singing as they sang of yore. Hail to thee, our alma mater, hail, oh hail, Swarthmore.
Hello everyone, I'm Salem Shuckman, a proud Swarthmore alumnus, spouse, and parent, as well as the chair of the Board of Managers. I'm honored to welcome you to Swarthmore College's 148th commencement ceremony. Let's pause for a moment of silence. Let me begin by thanking the members of the Swarthmore College Chorus under the leadership of Joe Gregorio for that uplifting performance of Alma Mater we just saw. And special thanks to Navdeep Maini for his efforts in compiling the video. To the members of the class of 2020, it goes without saying that this is a unique situation. All of us wish that the spring semester had played out differently, that we were together celebrating you in person at the Scott Outdoor Amphitheater. I'm sorry that isn't the case, and we look forward to welcoming you back to campus for an in-person commencement as soon as it is possible to do so. The challenges and opportunities you've experienced throughout your time at Swarthmore have no doubt contributed to tremendous personal growth. That is the essence of what the college experience is about, a time of self-reflection, of learning about yourself and the world around you. It's also where you learn to ask important, sometimes difficult questions, and where you build the skills to meaningfully answer them. I believe it is a great privilege to do this learning among smart, passionate, thoughtful peers, and the college's talented and committed faculty and staff members. Likewise, each of you contributed to the college and made our community stronger. Swarthmore teaches us the importance of community and of striving for a common good. It teaches us the value of dialogue and the power of curiosity. You will continue to grow and change in ways you cannot yet imagine well after you graduate today. But as you look forward to whatever comes next, I hope you'll remember what may be the most important lesson of Swarthmore, that we are strengthened by our ties to this place and to each other. We are all incredibly proud of your hard work, dedication, and achievement, and of all that you've accomplished during your time at Swarthmore. On behalf of the Board of Managers, I want to once again congratulate the class of 2020, and now I present to you Swarthmore College's 15th president, Valerie Smith, who, in keeping with tradition, will offer her remarks from the Scott Outdoor Amphitheater.
Thank you, Salem. Good morning, everyone, and welcome virtually to the Scott Outdoor Amphitheater here on campus, where your physical presence has been so sorely missed over these past 2.5 months. I can't tell you how I wish we were celebrating together in person, and I look forward to doing so as soon as we are able. Meanwhile, we can and will honor the accomplishments of the class of 2020 and welcome them today into our global community of Swarthmore alumni. Before I share my own reflections, I would like to introduce a special speaker. Professor Sara Hebert Burch was selected to give the baccalaureate address, which is typically given the day before commencement. Today, she will deliver a briefer version of those remarks, sharing with today's graduates the wisdom of an incredible career focused on field biology. Sara Hebert Burch is the Edward Hicks McGill Professor Emerita of Mathematics and Natural Sciences. Her colleagues have described her as a hummingbird whisperer. Her research has focused on hypometabolic states, including hibernation and its short-term counterpart, daily torpor. Sound familiar? In small birds and mammals. Professor Hebert Burch has taught courses on animal physiology and behavioral endocrinology at Swarthmore for 26 years. I hope you'll join me in congratulating her on her retirement. We will miss Professor Hebert Burch's well-balanced perspective, her calm demeanor, and her commitment to her students. Professor Hebert Burch will now offer her remarks from San Juan Island, Washington, where she has been sheltering in place.
Seniors, family, and friends, I am so glad to be able to be with you today as we celebrate and recognize the many profound accomplishments of our graduating seniors. In a sense, I am also graduating from Swarthmore on this day, and I just want to say that it is a huge honor to be a part of this graduating class. So students often say that they feel truly initiated into the Swarthmore community at first collection. That takes place in our beautiful outdoor amphitheater. And then 4 years later, they come back to that same amphitheater. They walk across that grassy stage to receive their hard-earned diploma. In normal times, we would all be wearing our academic gowns. Students would be struggling with what I consider to be the most diabolical piece of academic regalia, the mortarboard, trying to keep it from slipping just long enough to get a decent photo, because you know that photo is going to be on display. Now May has come, but the amphitheater is virtually empty of people. My gown is hanging on the back of my office door, 3,000 miles away from here. But at least I wanted to be able to speak to you from a place with trees. You've known all along that this day was going to mark the day that you stepped out into the world from this community. Some of you dreaded it. Some of you could not wait. Some of you are wistful but ready. None of you could have imagined that this day would be taking place during a pandemic. So when you responded to your acceptance letter from Swarthmore College, you were expecting to be challenged. You were expecting to be surrounded by other students who were as eager to learn as you, and you were expected to be supported by faculty as you learned how to solve that kind of problem, how to write that lab report, how to wrestle the information that you needed from that database, how to weave emotion into that painting, how to breathe wind and magic into Shakespeare's The Tempest. And then, with very little warning, that world, at least the way you had experienced it, evaporated. And it has not been easy in so many ways. It was hard to find a quiet place to work, to study, to write without interruption. It was hard to feel motivated. How important is my thesis right now when my city is being ravaged by a pandemic? It was hard not to feel anxious. What will my professor think of me if I can't do my best work right now? It was hard to feel connected. Some of you were sheltering not too far from campus, and yet it might as well have been 1,000 miles away because you couldn't leave your house or your apartment. Others of you are half a world away, trying to feel connected to the community that you left behind. It was hard to work. Some of you were caring for family members who had fallen ill with COVID-19. Some of you fell ill yourselves. Some of you were doing both of those things at the same time that you were trying to complete your class assignments. And some of you lost loved ones and didn't realize that you would not have the chance to say goodbye. So many of the things that take place during spring semester didn't happen. The dance concerts, the awards banquets, the poster sessions, the senior recitals, shows at the List Gallery and the Katao Art Gallery, research talks, the Strawberry Festival, Artini. But perhaps the hardest thing of all was not having had the chance to say goodbye to all the people at Swarthmore who made your life so rich. And there are so many people on this campus who also wanted to wish you well in person before you graduated. Not just your teachers, your professors, your lab and language instructors, your athletic, drama, and music coaches, but also the people in your department office, the people who made your meals and served them to you at Sharples, the ITS people, the only people who can figure out how to get your device to log into EduRoam, the deans, religious advisors. There are so many I could not name them all. In the midst of all this, many of you have wondered, how could I have been so unlucky to have had a pandemic interrupt my plans to celebrate this milestone? For some perspective on that, I'd like to read you some words spoken by C.S. Lewis to Oxford students in 1939 when Europe was on the brink of World War II. I'm going to substitute the word pandemic for war. The pandemic creates no absolutely new situation. It simply aggravates the permanent human situation so that we can no longer ignore it. Human life has always been lived on the edge of a precipice. We are mistaken when we compare pandemic with normal life. Life has never been normal. Even those periods which we think most tranquil turn out on closer inspection to be full of cries, alarms, difficulties, emergencies. So in these uncertain times, a phrase that you have heard more times than you care to count in the last few months, what is it that you can be sure of? The thing that you can be sure of is the next good thing that you will do. And by doing that thing, you will create the future. We can't be certain about the outcome of the current crisis, but we can be certain of the joy, the love, the kindness, the generosity that we bring to it. So what is this next good thing that you can do? The next good thing that you can do is to give yourself over completely to celebrating this day and all that it stands for. In every way that you can. Allow your family and your friends to shower you with their joy and their admiration for all that you have accomplished. You have earned this celebration. And going forward, remember that you are the ones who will build the future after this crisis. And that is what fills us with tremendous hope. We cannot wait to discover all of the ways that you will find to build that future. And so I leave you with our deepest congratulations on this special and very important day.
Thank you, Professor Hebert Burch, for making time to speak with us today. Please stay safe and healthy. I'd also like to thank all who have helped the members of the class of 2020 along their dizzying and dazzling journey. Faculty members who have dedicated their energy, talent, and compassion to your intellectual and personal development, and staff members who have cared for you and for our beautiful campus. We also want to take this opportunity to say thank you to the friends who are watching today. No member of the graduating class has gone through this experience alone. Your friends have been with you in good times and have been by your side when you've struggled. You will, of course, go on to form new friendships, but if you are like many other Swarthmore alumni, the relationships you've made here will last your lifetime. Most especially, today let us say thank you to parents, family members, and caregivers who supported your education, who cheered your triumphs, who helped you learn from the problems you confronted, and who today are filled with pride. Your graduation represents a moment of joy, accomplishment, and celebration for all your loved ones. Members of the class of 2020, please turn to those who are with you in person today and thank them for their love and support. I ask our entire community, students, faculty, staff, and alumni, to recognize with profound acknowledgement of their service the faculty who retire this year. Richard Eldridge, the Charles and Harriet Cox McDowell Professor of Philosophy, Sara Hebert Burch, the Edward Hicks McGill Professor of Science and Mathematics, Constance Hungerford, the Mari S. Michener Professor of Art History, Brian Munir, Professor of Art, and Michael Mullen, Professor of Physical Education and Sociology. We recognize as well the following retiring staff members who have served the college for 16 years or longer. Sharon Armstrong, Environmental Services. Rosa Bernard, Off-Campus Study. And Susanna Morikawa, Friends Historical Library. Please join me in thanking these long-serving members of our community who, by their wisdom, service, and allegiance, have played an important role in shaping Swarthmore's excellence and your experience here. I also invite us all to take this moment to reflect upon and honor Bun Buraparat, a member of the class of 2020 who passed away tragically in July 2017. Those who knew Bun remember his joyous, lively personality and his curious, kind, and thoughtful nature. The son of Thai immigrants, Bun hailed from Grover Beach, California. He loved science, and he spoke enthusiastically about all the ways he wanted to use science to design and create new things in the world. I'll quote Professor of Physics Catherine Crouch, who taught Bun in the Swarthmore Summer Scholars Program. To all of his studies, she says, Bun brought a playful, one might even say mischievous sense of humor that could easily conceal his eagerness and intensity of dedication. Bun's fellow students remember his approachability and unabashed fearlessness. In 2017, Bun participated in the SWAT tank competition, during which he and his team presented Game Plan, a personalized social app that would allow students to make and easily share event plans. It seems fitting that Bun, who brought so many together, helped devise a tool for students to connect in fun, spontaneous ways. We miss Bun's infectious sense of humor that brought light and joy to those around him. We pause to remember Bun today. He will always be a member of the Swarthmore community. Please join me in a moment of silence in honor of Bun Buraparat. Thank you. When members of the Swarthmore community left for spring break, the vast majority of us had no idea that we'd be unable to return to campus or indeed to life as we had known it. In the intervening weeks and months, we have grieved the suffering, disruption, and loss the COVID-19 pandemic has introduced into all of our lives. It affects each of us in different ways. For some, it's simply unsettling. For others, it's absolutely devastating. But no individual, no family, no higher ed institution, no sector, no nation is untouched by it. As we gather from across the country and around the globe to celebrate your graduation from Swarthmore, we share your mixed feelings. On the one hand, we celebrate your extraordinary accomplishments. You have risen to the occasion time and time again at one of the world's premier liberal arts institutions, known for its intensity and academic rigor. This achievement would be cause for celebration under normal circumstances, but the fact that you completed the work of your final semester, papers, theses, exams, performances, projects, and so on, you completed this work under intensely adverse conditions. This is remarkable indeed. You have gained emotional maturity through your friendships with fellow students and your relationships with professors and staff members. Through internships and volunteer opportunities, you have explored the real-world applications of your academic work. And through your participation in the arts, athletics, and other co-curricular activities, you have honed your talents and developed your leadership skills, creativity, and collaborative spirit. You arrived here just a few years ago, and during your time at Swarthmore, you have made this place your own. All of us, your loved ones, as well as the faculty and staff of Swarthmore, applaud your accomplishments. Yet, even as we share in your joy, we must acknowledge that this is not how any of us would have wished your academic career at Swarthmore to conclude. We deeply regret the experiences that this global crisis took from you and took without notice. Your final performances, exhibitions, in-person honor exams, those late-night senior week conversations, the We Heart Seniors Dinner, senior brunch at the dean's house, rose pinning on the morning of commencement, and so much more. Times like these, natural disasters, economic crashes, pandemics, remind us that civilization is, in the words of John Maynard Keynes, a thin and precarious crust erected by the personality and the will of a very few, and only maintained by rules and conventions skillfully put across and guilefully preserved. What lessons are we learning about ourselves now that that crust has been pierced, now that so much of what we took for granted has been stripped away, and we do not know what will replace it? Regrettably, in certain cases across the nation, the public health and economic impacts of this crisis have exacerbated some of the basest impulses that plague our society. For some, the rate of infection, the disruptions of daily life, and fear of the virus itself are unleashing anti-Asian and anti-Black racism, anti-Semitism, xenophobia, and other forms of racial and ethnic bias. For others, however, this upending of their lives has created opportunities for heightened self-awareness and compassion. Every day brings stories of those who have discovered or rediscovered the value of reflection, an appreciation of those who perform the essential jobs on which we depend, a deepened sense of gratitude for their loved ones, a renewed joy in the daily rituals of attending to one's basic needs, an embrace of the slower pace of life, and a willingness to take responsibility for meeting the needs of others. I think in particular of the young people around the country who are delivering food to their more vulnerable neighbors. And I think of the artists and small business owners who have made hundreds upon hundreds of cloth face masks to help address the shortage, just as several members of the Swarthmore community have done. These are but two examples of those who have risen to their better selves in the face of a global crisis. Your time at Swarthmore has prepared you not just for this moment, but more generally for life's inevitable unpredictability. During the past 4 years, you have honed your critical thinking skills, developed nimble minds ready to take on the most vexing questions, and proven to be problem solvers in the face of immense challenges. As you graduate from Swarthmore today, you will enter a world of extraordinary uncertainty, but also one of great possibility. I know that the intellectual curiosity, compassion, discipline, collaborative spirit, resilience, and good humor that you have demonstrated at Swarthmore will stand you in good stead. The respect for scientific inquiry, the empathy and connections derived from the social sciences, the beauty and inspiration of the arts, and the understanding of the human condition gleaned from the humanities will serve you well as you face the challenges that lie ahead. These traits and abilities will help to shape the choices you make as you confront the break in the crust of civilization. Today, class of 2020, you join generations of civic-minded, passionate, and curious Swarthmore alumni in carrying with you forever the lessons and values of this college. I can't wait to watch you encounter and change the world. Before we move to the conferral of degrees, we have a surprise for the class of 2020.
Warm greetings to you all from Bethesda, Maryland. My name is Tony Falchi, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases at the National Institutes of Health. I am delighted to address the Swarthmore College graduating class of 2020. We are currently confronting an unprecedented global pandemic, and I am profoundly aware that celebrating your graduation virtually without the in-person support of your professors, fellow students, and friends is extremely disappointing at best. However, we must adapt to this extraordinary situation as you have done so well and unite in overcoming this challenge. Please hang in there. We need your talent, your energy, your resolve, and your character to get through this difficult time. In the next phases of your lives, whether you ultimately help patients, conduct research on medical solutions, or more likely, most of you simply contribute as caring and connected members of society. All of you will do your part, together with the rest of us, to come out from under the shadow of this pandemic. With Swarthmore's legacy of social responsibility and community, and your reputation for innovation, I have no doubt that you will be helping to lead the way. Congratulations on your graduation and the hard work that brought you here. Stay safe, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you for those kind words. And thankfully, that's the closest thing to Zoom bombing that we've had to deal with at Swarthmore this semester. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. Provost and Dean of the Faculty, Sara Willie LeBreton, will now present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
Madam President, I have the pleasure to present to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
By the power vested in me by the Board of Managers at Swarthmore College and by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Arts and admit you to all the rights and privileges of that degree.
Annie Lou Rose Abruzzo. Riju Adhikari. Evangeline Ajay Dankwa. Adam Dominic Augustin. Sabrine Leah Ahmed. Lelosa Somachi Emufwa. Sejal Meda Krishna Akapeti. Carlos Freitej Almeida. Miranda Lynn Amilcar. Nicholas William Anderson. Stephanie Andrade. Isabel Nomtabi Andrews. Cindy Valeska Asuncio Arroyo. Elsie Faye Aubrey. Karen Del Socorro Avila Cerda. Nancy Naga Awad. Evan Baker. Alexander Mark Beloga. Ruby Ben-Teresa. Mohammed Imtiaz Bape. Safia Mukhtar Bashir. Anderson Batin. Giselle Becerra Reyes. Cole Beaker. Adil Godfrey Belgami. Jack Belushi. Brandon Kit Bennett Gualpa. Jessica Wolpert Berg. Jasmine Betancourt. Shelby Nicole Billups. Faye Blaylock. Saskia Alexis Bach. Daniel Bolmer. Mohammed Reza Buzarjameri. Tommy Bothwell. Joseph Michael Bradley. Jacob Brady. Holden Anthony Bridge. Naomi Bronkima. Lucas Charlo Blows Brooks. Amtala Zara Brown. Rashid Deontay Bryan. Rye Burl Buckley. Augustin J. Burchell. Calla Bush St. George. Sophia Elena Cabrera. Ian William Cairns. Gabriel Caldwell, Sadie Camilleri, Douglas Campbell, Omar Camps Cameron, Tara Grace Cannon, Madeline Elizabeth Cairns, Rebecca Castillo, Tristan Yen Cates, Daniel Harold Chaikin, Matthew Shalafor, Calvin Tianhong Chan, Austin Hunter Chang, David Hufu Chang, Jasmine Charles, Shreya Chattopadhyay, Anya Chaudhry, Eric Chen, Stephen Javen Chen, Yanhua Cheng, Brian Hinjin Chun, Andrew Cho, Peter Sejen Chung, Heewon Chung, Abby Clements, Betsy Rose Cohen, Joshua Taylor Collin, Clay Conley, Robert Connor, Gabriel Alexander Contreras, Karina Elise Cooper, Jack Robert Corkery, John Pratt Cody Jr., Sydney Claire Kovitz, Megan Curry, Claire Cyrilla Cushing, Terrell Dale, Ayushi Dangle, Alexis Katerina Davis, Alyssa Victoria Davis, Caston Day, Karina Cecilia DeBouquet, Thomas Dell, Mara Denbraven, Paige Didier, Abigail Ruth Diebold, Elena Du, Jade Dong, Graham Maven Doskutch, Kendall Dirksen, Lucas Robert Dyke, Zena Ibrahim, Brandon Namdi Equionu, Ruth Carolyn Elias, Ilana Grace Elliott, Sean Emery, Kira Emmons, Elizabeth Erler, Ricardo Arle Espino, Woodjerry Steve Etienne, Kevin Christopher Farrell, Molly Wright Fenig, Stephen Fernandez, Vivian C. Fernandez Ravello, Nicholas Alexander Filippelli, Isabella Fiorente, Lillian Jean Fornoff, Caleb Kofi Forson, Joshua Fryer, Alex Ramona Frost, Omri Gal, Shagnik Guyan, Caitlin Gelber, Amalia Isabel Galpi, Joy Uchichi George, Jared Gillen, Elizabeth Jasmine Gonzalez Arellano, Jason Alexander Gonzalez, Abigail Goodman, Gina Mia Gusby, Sophie Gray Gayard, Max Gruber, Maximilian Julian Gruyen, Clarissa Elizabeth Grunstein, Olivia Gubler,
Robert Jeffrey Gunn,
Hannah Guto, Kenneth Guan, James Hahn, Kyla Hallam, Henry Swindon Hahn, Tessa Rian Hannigan, Mikiel Harragot, Abuhena Rafi Harris, Audrey Herring, Miles Trent Harris, Emily Alexandra Oatmont, Leila Hazene, Gabriel Hearn Desitel, Rachel Morel Heckinger, Lucas Heinzerling, Maya Lillian Henry, Jessica Esther Hernandez, Crystal Ho, Libby Hoffenberg, Christina Nicole Holmgren, Trevor Homestad, Ariana Hoshino, Janan Hui, Abdi Karim Yassin Hussein, Andrew Feng Huen, Kai Imada, Maria Valadez Ingersoll, Aditya Jaya Krishnan, Brian Carl Janicki, Thomas Jensen, Vanessa Jimenez Reed, Jason Lee Jin, Nathaniel Johns, Ford Johnston, Lucy Sumner Jones, Megan Jones, Maeve Jude, Lucy Judge Tyson, Keaton Hari Kakar, Aaron Jeremiah Kang, Emma Brandis Kassan, Max Katz Balms, Jonathan Kay, William Francis Kenny, Yash Kelvara Mani, Misha Mubashir Khan, Nicole Karosh, Maya Leilani Kikuchi, Coleman Dale Kilby, Kennedy Kings, Alexandra Jayana Kingsley, Seneca Kingurzo, Lanlana Kiratiwoodhikal, Rena Kiyohara, Isaac Cleasel Murphy, Malani Coley, Gabrielle Rose Kolinsky, Dimitri Lee Kondalis, Jasmine Isoda Kuyate, Benjamin Kusmal, Melissa Rosemary Lenoir, Sawyer Lake, Angus Lincoln Lamb, Jonah Langlieb, Felix Lenian, Alexander Prost Lasser, Ross Layton, Daniel Lebedinsky, Daniel Wanjun Lee, William Lee, Samuel Hayden Leonard, Zonder Scott Levitz, Cindy Lee, Catherine Lima, Linda Yinchi Lin, Sasha June Lin, Stephanie Yuqing Lin, Victoria Lin, William Thomas Line Jr., Lija Liu, Isabel Yosa, Hunter McLean Luber, Zha Lo, Alia Almeda Lusuergo, Feifani Ma'a, Michelle Ma, Akil Tarzan Mahmood, Riham Mahagoob,
Navdeep Kumar Maini,
Rayan Maker, Marissa Mancini, Reese Kurtz Manley, Yanti Veronica Manurung, William Luis Marchesi, Anthony Joseph Mariani, Natasha Markov Reese, Alexandra Elaine Marsh, Diana Martinez Montez, Miraida Martinez, Daria Machescu, Nicholas Mayo, Isabel Snow McLean, Susanna Allen McGrew, Tandiwi Kitoko Asantua McMillan, Pauline McMurray, Nirev Mehta, Jacqueline Mejia, Vanessa Mang, Peter Miklas, Richard Mobley, Kira Veronique Moed, Rook Magavaro, David Molina Cavazos, Sarah Munyo, Jasmine Lee Moore, Sophia Moore, Leslie Josefina Moreau, Emma Morgan Bennett, Mina Morisaki, Andre Morrison, Emily Elizabeth Morse, Eleanor Miette Moser, Jeffrey Sungjae Mun, Wambui Marian Mwenja, Allison Naganuma, Eleanor Hobbs Naaman, Ariba Nakvi, Sophie Leila Nasrallah, Gabriella Natoli, Winfred Nemlin, Min Nguyen, Elise O'Bannon, Zachary James Odell, Lindsay Morgan O'Sullivan, Ren Nicole Elabioba Odim, Evan Orticio, Ian Michael Tay Ortiz, Kenyana Janae Ortiz Cedeno, Liam Landis Packer, Ian Tagore Palmer, Arya Parikh Parig, Hee-Yun Park, Semi Park, Vaughn Parts, Caitlin Pasillas, Tyler John Pascoe, Keshav Patel, Megan Gwendolyn Patton, Colin Perkins Taylor, Tobias Robert Phillip, Georgia Piantanita, Abigail Ray Perrone, Citlali Pizarro, September Sky Porras Payea, Abigail Kathleen Posta, Rajiv Patluri, Coleman Harris Powell, Lillian Price, Kawit Ping Pomrat, Catherine Pruitt, Nicholas James Puliano, Yusuf Kundur, Hamza Qureshi, Siddharth Ramachandran, Isha Ranganathan, Carolyn Renier, Elora Nimkar Rich, Rose Cecilia Ritter, Alexis Nicole Riddick, Rochelle Robinson, Lydia Rowe, Benedict Able Rogando, Max Rogo, Paola Marianne Rosario, Rebecca Judith Rosenthal, Louise Dupre Rossler, Jake Ross, Zach Rothenberg, Shane Rothman, Jack Rubian, Gabrielle Rubenstein,
James Patrick Rutledge,
Shira Helene Samuels Schrag, Alejandra Sandoval, Evan Saruk, Lauren Nicole Savo, Adam Alexander Shower,
Sydney Jean Schwartz,
Kali Hannah Siegel, Nathaniel Gerald Schaefer, Roman Yemhenovich Shamakov, Brandon Shi, Youngjun Shin, Madison Hamilton Shiraka, Joshua Miles Siegel, Bridget Silvera, Stuart Clark Silver, Maya Smith, Naja Smith, Shayla Smith, Jonathan Edwin Solomon, Ariana Soriano Cruz, Griffin Soriano, Tyler Sotendike, Natalie Rubin Spangle, Colin Spangler, Siddharth Srivatsan, Ryan Corrigan Stanton, Alexander Starr, Matthew Harrison Stein, Miriam Kayla Stein, Oliver Ehrenfest Steinglass, Benjamin Stern, Nathaniel Zeev Stern, Elizabeth Ruth Stiles, Aidan Thomas Stoddard, Cassandra Stone, Ian Alexander Street, Naveen Swailmain, Ibrahim Mogra Tamali, Kailin Tan, Emma Tapp, Jorge Luis Tayo Garza, Jia Chern Tio, William Henry Tio, Kunhav Tucker, Kendre Davian Thomas, Michael Thutt, Stephanie Joanne Tilniak, Kayona Lynette Tyndall, Matthew Turnquist, Taylor Tucker, Kwukjun Nigel Van Ha, Siaka Hope Valls, Zachary Viscusi, Rachel Ann Vreslovic, Kyle An Vu, Laura Helen Wagner, Emma Walker, Daniel Wallach, Hao Chen Wang, Blake Tianu Wang, Mackenzie Lauren Ward, Ryan James Warm, Chase Weatherford, Shirlene Wee, Brittany Wiederhold, Lila Wetzner, Brendan Worth, Isaiah Noah Posner White, Phoebe Grace Whiteside, David Aaron Wibble, Laura Wilcox, Ethan Witkowski, Harim Wu, Wu Ke, Terrence Xiao, Yane Xiao, Jasmine Xia, Mo Zhang, Kevin Zhu, Mingray Xu, Shu Qi, Amelie Laurel Yado, Iquan Yen, Ayaka Yori Hiro, Kendall Yoshi, Gun Min Yoon, Nancy Yuan, Melissa Zavez, Grace Zhang, Kevin Zhang, Julia Zimmerman, Brandoni Lewis Yasroyhill Max Zunin.
The Provost will now present the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science.
Madam President, I have the pleasure to present to you the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science.
By the power vested in me by the Board of Managers at Swarthmore College and by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Science and admit you to all the rights and privileges of that degree.
Scott Owen Candy, David Hufu Chang, Claire Cyrilla Cushing, Terrell Dale, Kira Emmons, Kyla Halam, Michelle Minyong Kim, Benjamin Kusmal, Evie Lutz. Quinton Emmanuel Millette. Sara Magno. Nathan Moreno Mendelson. Sophia Helen Pfeiffer. Nicholas James Pugliano. Rose Cecilia Ritter. Benedict Able Rogando. Frank Sammartino. Adam Alexander Schauer. Gabriel Stuger. Hannah Torres. Zachary Michael Weiss. Terrence Xiao. Leo Chia Selena Yeh. Bradoni Louis Yasrohil Makzunen.
Once again, my warmest congratulations to the great and resilient class of 2020. I proudly address you now as alumni of the college. We miss you, and we can't wait to celebrate you again in person as soon as we are able. Today's final words will come from you as we conclude our ceremony with a special tribute to the class of 2020. Be well, be healthy, and know that Swarthmore is now and will forever be yours.
Hey Swatties, I just wanted to give a shout out to all the faculty and professors who made our time at Swarthmore so much better. You know, they care about us so much, and I think that that's a very unique thing about Swarthmore. I also wanted to thank Swarthmore for introducing me to some of the best friends I'll ever have on this planet. And just one quick shout out to my friend Nick Filippelli. 27 out of 32 classes, baby, that's how we do it.
I had a lot of amazing moments at my time at Swarthmore, but I think the most memorable are like the small things that happened in my daily life. Going to SUs in the morning, going to class, talking with my friends at class, Underhill Library, the CS hallway, Sharples, the dorms, you name it. I've also really appreciated going to my professor's offices, going to ask for academic help, or just asking for life advice, which they've been really wonderful with. Swarthmore has helped me become a much better person. I've really enjoyed being around such a wonderful group of people who are passionate about a lot of different things, and I've really appreciated the opportunities that Swarthmore gave me to follow my own academic interests.
I just want to thank my friends who have supported me through all the ups and downs of Swarthmore education. I also want to thank my professors for always opening their offices to me, supporting me with job applications, engaging in critical dialogue in all of my classes. And finally, I want to thank Kenny and EVS and the rest of the EVS team for always making me smile every morning, even when I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I always knew I can count on a high five and a smile from Kenny. So thank you, Kenny.
My favorite Swarthmore memory was getting to conduct the premiere of our opera, Cassandra, last semester. So many Swatties majoring in all different things dedicated this huge chunk of their free time to learning and telling an amazing, challenging, complex story that two Swarthmore professors specifically wrote for us. I had a complete blast and was truly honored to be part of such a meaningful project.
Congratulations, everybody. We actually made it. I know that 4 years ago, this isn't probably how we drew it up when we envisioned our graduation, That being said, we made it, and that's an achievement in and of itself. To all of my classmates, it's been an incredible ride going to school with you guys for the last 4 years. You're the smartest group of individuals that I have ever met, and I can confidently say that you made me feel dumb just about every single day, but in the best possible way. To Professors Buiza, Cohen, and Hanlon, thank you very much for teaching me to look at the world in a new set of eyes. And finally, to Mom and Dad, check it out, I made it. Woohoo!
One of my favorite memories about Swarthmore will be my time working at the Makerspace. I was one of the first student techs when the Makerspace opened my sophomore year and have been able to watch and help it grow. Over these 3 years, I've been able to learn a lot of skills and help pass them on to other students as well. I've really enjoyed watching so many different people come into the space and be able to be creative while learning and having fun.
My favorite Swarthmore memory is playing D&D with my friends during a power outage.
At Swarthmore, it's definitely the people and the plants that have truly helped me grow, because both of them have really taught me the power of kindness. To live at Swarthmore is to live with magical and ever-changing plants, from the deep reds and oranges in the fall, to the sound of shuffling leaves crisp on the ground, to the bare branches that form magnificent shapes and frames our campus, to the purples and pinks and blues of every shade of green, to the different fragrances such as ginkgo and lilac. We are blessed with a home brimming with life. Every day we can gaze upon open sky and sometimes see friends like chipmunks and squirrels and bugs and bunnies and birds. To me, a city girl who used to be afraid of these things, Swarthmore was where the world was re-enchanted.
One of my favorite memories at Swarthmore was during my freshman year. My birthday is on December 5th, so I turned 19 just a few months into the start of college. There was this jazz club in Philadelphia that I'd been wanting to go to, but never got the chance. So my friends decided to bring the jazz club to me. They threw me a surprise party and real student musicians improvised live jazz all night. Freshman year was full of a lot of ups and downs for me, but I felt so loved that night. I mean, these people who had only known for 4 months were willing to go through all this work just to make my day feel special. And little did I know that as I met more Swatties and made new friends, there would only be more love to come.
My favorite Swarthmore memory is this class I took with Matt Sanders. I had this weird idea to kind of make a cube out of projectors, and he liked it for some reason. And then it was just really cool seeing that project happen and seeing people excited about it and being able to watch people's reaction to it. It was this cool moment where I realized just how much I could do with like digital media.
Hey everybody, I'm sure a lot of you probably relate to this idea that there have been a lot of cool things that have happened kind of randomly in like our Swarthmore careers. For example, when I was coming back from chorus, I think during my freshman year, Adil was hosting a last-minute snowball fight outside of Parish.
It's definitely hard to pick like a favorite memory out of all the good memories at Swarthmore, but I think one of my favorite might have to be when I moved to ML freshman year, or freshman spring, and Tarzan, he went for an RKO, and me being me, I had to play along. So basically I dove face flat onto the ground, and we basically executed one of the greatest RKOs in history, at least in the history of ML First Lounge.
There have definitely been a lot of people who have moved me in some shape or form at Swarthmore. Whether it's a goof like Peter Chong, or one of the greatest people that ever lived like Muhammad. Some of you know him as Uzi. I've been touched because these people have added value to my life somehow, and that only makes me want to pass on value to others, however I can.
I'd like to say a few quick thank yous. Firstly, I'd like to thank my brothers for always believing in me. I'd like to thank my parents for also always believing in me and never letting time difference get in the way of editing my papers. It was a big help. I'd like to thank my peers for being an amazing and inspiring group of people. And finally, I'd like to thank the communications office, all the staff, all the deans who put in an effort to make this virtual commencement what it is. I know it's not what we wanted, but it's as much as we can do in the circumstances. And hopefully we'll see each other in 2021 for a real in-person commencement.
Who inspired you during your time at Swarthmore? I'd like to thank my coaches who believed in me and my teammates who encouraged me. Thank you! My parents for supporting me no matter what.
I was inspired by my friends and teammates because they were always there when things got tough.
I was inspired by my friends, teammates, and classmates who strive to make our planet and community a better place.
Oh no, Hi, my name is Belle, and I'm most inspired by what my teammates have accomplished on and off the court over the past 4 years.
Hi, I'm Laylosa, and the people that inspired me the most at SWAT are my teammates, the entire education department, Chris McPherson, and of course, Donnie.
I want to give a shout out to all of the amazing professors at Black Studies who made my time at Swarthmore just so incredible, both inside the classroom as a student, but also as an engaged citizen of the world. Thank you for making our school a better place. And I also want to give a huge thanks to all the student musicians and performing artists who made my time at Swarthmore so much more full of creative energies and really have pushed me to become the artist that I am.
Yay! So many people inspired me at SWAT, not only with their brains, but their kindness, their passion, their resilience. Thank you so much for your inspiration. I hope that one day I can do the same for others. But one more thing, catch!
Staunch and great thou standst before us on the campus fair, thy high spirit guarding o'er us through thy blessing share. Thee we praise with songs of gladness, name thy glories all. Hail to thee,